Hi everybody, Kirk Hamilton here, reporting from my VR'd out living room to look at some more virtual reality games this week, which we were doing last week with the Oculus Rift, and now the HTC Vive is out, and we can play some Vive games. This actually isn't just a Vive game, but it's a game that's very fun on the Vive, so I figured this would be a good one to start with. This is a game from an indie studio called Cytech called Windlands. And it's been around for a while. There are a lot of videos of people playing various versions of this game. The 1.0 version came out not too long ago and is available on both VR headsets. So, what makes this game cool? I like this game a lot. I've had a lot of fun playing it. It's pretty wild in virtual reality. And yeah, so what's it about? So it's a jumping, platforming exploration game. There's a whole lot of different worlds. I haven't gotten that far in it, but I've been watching some videos, and there's a lot to it. It gets really hard and in depth, but basically you're exploring, trying to find hidden artifacts, and get to checkpoints at various points in the levels. So you can see I'm jumping around. I have this kind of really high Spider-Man jump, and I'm holding these two. Look at this! These two grappling hooks, and this is kind of what makes this game really sing. Is you have you have these two grappling hooks you can use to climb, and you can use them to pull yourself around and move super fast through the world, and they're really cool. And that's what makes this game really work. Now, I played this game on the Oculus Rift. You can play it with a controller. You can play this normal with a mouse and keyboard on a screen if you want, and that's fine. Get up to the top of this. It was okay on Oculus Rift, but I found that the game made me nauseous. Doing things like this. Made me feel just a little gross. And also moving around with the controller wasn't really great, because you're kind of just using the thumbstick or the game controller triggers to shoot your grappling hooks. So in this version, you have these two things that you actually move around. And it makes a huge difference. As to standing up, I find the game way more comfortable, and just kind of generally more immersive and fun to play on Vive. Okay, so this is one of the areas in the game. This is the first one that I've unlocked, and yeah, I'll just jump around a little bit and show you guys it. This is a move that I do a lot. I have no idea if I'm playing this game right, by the way. I kind of made up a lot of my own techniques. And I'm sure there are people who are like completely amazing at it. But basically, there's a lot of aftertouch. I'm actually doing all that. I'm steering in the air with the movement controller, because you're given a lot of freedom to do that. Let's see. And then you just kind of pull yourself around. Woo-wee! and hopefully pull off some pretty cool jumps. So this game makes me dizzy sometimes, but that's not really the same as nauseous. There is a really important distinction actually between the two. The dizziness in this game is kind of pleasant, or at least exciting. It's cool. Like it feels like you're really doing the thing that you're doing, which in this case is like, dangling off this crazy tree and climbing to the top and then leaping off of it, which I don't do a lot in my everyday life. So when my brain thinks I'm doing it, it kind of freaks out. So here's a section that kind of illustrates something that I find a little more frustrating playing this game in VR, is that there are areas where you really use your grappling hook, and I've looked at some of the later levels, some of the harder levels, and you totally can't, because if you see it just bounces off, it bounces off anything solid, and can only grab green stuff. So you saw I just kind of jumped up there, which I've done that so many times now that I've gotten pretty good at it. But there's a whole period of time where I just was sort of stuck and couldn't get up here, because the platforming is just a little bit imprecise. I think this is the kind of thing that would work better with a controller if you were playing normally. But especially with the Vive, you squeeze the side controller to jump, and then use this thumb pad to move, and it's kind of very, it just doesn't quite work like a thumbstick. It's a little bit weird. So that has definitely taken some getting used to for me, and there are sections where I can just tell I just don't want to deal with it, like where I'll have to platform up to the, like there's an area up there that's inside this tree, and you have to do a whole lot of careful kind of precision platforming, and it just was driving me nuts. Like it just wasn't, it wasn't that fun. So it could be there are sections of this game that might work better with the controller, even though in general I think the game works way better with these two guys. So let's see if we can make this jump. Oh, come on, come on. Oh, I had it. Oh well. One nice thing is if you fall, you can just press a button to respawn. I didn't know that for a long time, and would just kind of, here I'll show you, you just kind of would fall, and then you just kind of have to wait. Oh well, I died, and just watch the ground kind of come up and hit you, which is a little bit fun, I guess, but it's kind of tedious if you keep dying to the same section over and over again, and then just having to wait 10 seconds to die. Not really a good time. Alright, let's see if we can make this. Yeah. So I find that in general with room scale, like with what the Vive does, where I can just stand in my whole living room like this, it lets me move around just a little bit. Like you kind of move your hips or move your feet along with your character. Come on. That was some nonsense. Oh, there we go. Nice. Which makes the kind of vertigo that you get a little bit less of an issue in a good way. Let's grab that. Grab something over. Let's pull up there. And just using your arms in this way, like to kind of reach over and then down, it really just feels natural and cool. Wow. Let's just look around us here and see what we're looking at. Oh man. Okay. So there's a few things related to motion that I thought maybe people might think is interesting. Basically, you'll see that I'm kind of turning around, and I don't actually. You can turn. Watch, I'll do it. You can use that kind of blinking turn using the controller that all these VR games do, which I think is kind of designed to keep you from getting sick. But I find standing up, it's actually a lot easier to just figure out which direction I'm going, and then turn that direction, and then just use forward to kind of jump in that direction. Oh. And it works pretty well. Let's think. I'm gonna go up here. No. Alright, back this way then. So this is basically it, as far as I've seen anyways. I know there's more to the game than this, but most levels are just kind of like this, platforming levels where you try to get higher and higher, and sometimes you have to get creative or do a big drop before you get to where you're going. And the levels are pretty big, as you can see. I'm looking out on a whole lot of different stuff, really. Keep that grabbed on. And yeah, that's Windlands, one of many VR launch titles for both the Oculus Rift and the Vive. I like it better on the Vive. I generally just I think it works pretty well standing up and with these two controllers. But yeah, if you picked up an HTC Vive, if you're one of those people who got one, I definitely recommend checking it out. It's very cool. Oh man. Oh.